Good morning to each and everyone present here today. We welcome you to this the ENP companies operating in India to adapt to global standards for its usage and follow common workflows and practices. To begin our proceedings, may I call upon Dr. C. Lakshma Reddy, AD Exploration, to address the gathering. Dr. C. Lakshma Reddy is an upstream oil and gas professional with more than 3 decades of diverse experience covering the entire gamut of the E&P industry. Dr. Reddy has completed his MSc and PhD in applied geology from IIT Bombay, one of the most prestigious institutions of India. He has worked in field operational areas like Ankleshwar in Western India, in Assam, Arakan Fold Belt in Northeast India, and in offshore and onshore areas of Krishna Godavari Basin in Andhra Pradesh, during which he monitored, supervised, coordinated, and executed various well site geological operations like lithologging, electrologging, production testing, log interpretation and correlation, and other production and development geology activities like workover operations. May I now welcome Dr. C. Lakshma Reddy, ADG Exploration, to share the welcome address. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Chandrima. Thank you, and good morning to you all. And it's really privilege to have DGH on this workshop, which we are being conducting for to make the familiarization the different size of E&P companies, both mid-size and small size, and big size E&P companies. Anyway, they've been following. And anyway, the people who are working in the big size companies also referring to they can refine their thing with regard to PRMS system. And I welcome the experts, panelists, moderators, and the participants to this technical virtual workshop on the petroleum resources management system. We have quite thoughtfully titled this workshop as Hydrocarbon Reserves and Resources Compliances to PRMS 2018, because it brings into focus the overarching objective of DGH in this regard as the nation's upstream regulator. I don't say regulator, but the nation's upstream facilitator. For all technical and statutory and regulatory purposes, a unanimously agreed upon framework is imperative to ensure uniform application of the same. And the PRMS is a consensus of inputs collected from various consulting and financial firms and the government agencies and E&P companies. And it's a warm welcome. I hope all of you, our families are healthy and safe. Would like to thank Social Friendly and to coordinate this one. And it's a testing time. You all know, in the testing time we are virtually meeting. Otherwise, probably we would have met physically and then deliberated on these aspects. It's one of its kind, a black swan event in the history of the mankind with this COVID-19, with the oil prices plummeting to minus $37 per barrel. And looking into this, every E&P company will have their resources mapped and established and put. And these resources, how do we classify, and how do we put, where do we put, and how do we classify with regard to several stakeholders? What is this PRMS? It is all about. It's all about predicting potentially recoverable volumes and under defined conditions. The quantity of usable resources is not fixed, but changes with progress in science, technology, and exploration, and with shifts in economic conditions. So, it's rightly said, what is today resource? Maybe with the development of technology and with the development of exploration technology and the science development and commercial aspects of it, these resources quantities, which have been categorized to different things, will change. So we need an international standard. We need consistency in communicating petroleum resources volumes with associated risks and uncertainty. What are we doing here? We need to understand, we need to take hold, we need to bring in all stakeholders' requirements together. Who are all the stakeholders in this game? Is the oil and gas companies, small independents, large IOCs and national oil companies and independent oil companies, And then comes to whichever oil companies are listed on the stock markets, which is basically securities regulators also need. What are the resources which E&P company has in the hydrocarbon sector? And how does this affect securities regulators? Because the stock markets gets influenced when a E&P company declares what are the quantities which they have. So ultimately, the investors will be affected. So investors' interest should be protected by securities regulator. Similarly, financial organizations who are funding these E&P projects, because they also have to get the return. Ultimately, financial organizations also keep the money of the taxpayers. And similarly, the government agencies, when they give the licenses, what is the quantity of oil and gas which need to be explored and exploited and bring it to the use of the public. So basically, to create a global consensus reference for the industry, a standard need to be worked out. All stakeholders require complete, consistent, reliable information on future production and associated cash flow estimates through full recovery. I just give a small brief, history of the PRMS. SPE and partners recognize the need for common global standards for petroleum resource definitions to provide consistency, transparency, and reliability. Create and maintain an international standard petroleum reserves and resources future. First, the petroleum management system first published in April 2007 and is maintained by SPE, Oil and Gas Resources Council. It is sponsored and it is approved by the Society of Petroleum Engineers, World Petroleum Council, American Association of Petroleum Geologists, and Society of Petroleum Evaluation Engineers, endorsed by Society of Exploration Geophysicists. Similarly, these PRMS evolution has also historic milestones. In order to establish this system, a simple risk and uncertainty model has been worked out, and it is all principle based. This is PRMS system is more having a evolutionary shifts instead of revolutionary changes. What is the goal of PRMS? Provide a common reference for the international petroleum industry, including national reporting and regulatory disclosure agencies, and to support petroleum product and portfolio management requirements. And it improves the clarity in global communications when we speak of the petroleum resources. And it supplement with industry education programs and application guides. The PRMS runs through major principles to understand the reservoir and enclosed resources. PRMS system is basically a project based. Classification is based on projects, terms of commerciality, and categorization is based on recoverable uncertainty. Base case uses forecast of future conditions, provides more regularity of project management, estimates based on deterministic and probabilistic methods. Resources are estimated in terms of the sale products. Resource allocation based on contractual entitlement applies to both conventional and unconventional resources. PRMS is designed to support asset management. What is that? From cradle to grave. What is cradle? Hydrocarbons which are accumulated in the prospect which has been generated through interpretation of the seismic activity. What do you do afterwards? Wildcat drilling, discovery and appraisal and development, and then field optimization we do by way of establishing the thing and then we go into the enhanced recovery, and then for a sufficient time it is on plateau and then declining stage. So this is the complete E&P cycle, and the PRMS helps in this process and align with hydrocarbon finding, developing and producing basin. And it is all about the basically risk and uncertainty. If you really look into the classification of the petroleum resources management system table, whatever resources E&P company has, basically it is put into this table based on the technology, based on the pricing of the hydrocarbons, and this quantity will move from one compartment to the other compartment. But complete resources have to be in this square form. So basically this PRMS was worked out to be in consonance with the United Nations framework of classification of the resources. This United Nations framework classification deals with the nuclear energy, all sorts of energy in the earth. So this is wind, including wind energy also. So let's listen to we have in this session, this workshop has been divided into several parts, 4 parts, and we have the people from the industry who will be speaking their experiences based on the case study, and expert certification agencies like D&M and other certification agencies are there. They will also share their experience, the methodology which they adopt in this one. Let's get the benefit. Let's learn from these people who have done, who have been thick and thin with these procedures. And I know several of the participants are from geoscientific community. They know there are non-geoscientific community people also on this forum, and financial people also on the figure, because basically to bring in a multidisciplinary people onto this workshop, and it is fortunate, and it is based on the guidance by the DGH, and he is the force behind it, to motivate, to conduct the workshop, and to handle the small players, and basically to bring in a standard to the reporting of the results. This workshop has been conceived and being conducted, maybe one of its kind in the recent past. It's not that earlier it has not been done. Thank you very much. Let's, I welcome all the participants and to take the benefit out of these deliberations, so the day-long deliberations, and be attentive. And there are several youngsters also, so that they can learn. They are the future. They are the one who calculate the reserves in future and bring the future of the E&P companies. Now, I request SCL Das sir, who is waiting. Sorry, I have taken a lot of time, and I wish all the best for the workshop. And I hand over to Social Friendly to welcome DGH to give his keynote address.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful insights. Now, may I welcome Shri SCL Das, Directorate General of Hydrocarbons, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, for the keynote address. Shri SCL Das is an officer from the Indian Administrative Service. In his career spanning about 28 years, he has had professional experience in diversified sectors such as energy, power, urban development, health, finance, and taxation. He has overseen implementation of some key reforms and projects of state level, such as GST, Delhi Metro, and power privatization, etc. He has also worked in the United Nations Office for Project Services. Mr. Das also holds a master's degree in public health from Johns Hopkins University, USA, and degrees in science and law. We welcome you, sir, and may I now request you to share the keynote address, please.
Thank you very much, Chandrima. Very, very good morning to all, and warm greetings from DGH, especially to all the industry experts, to the members of the academia, to all the E&P companies represented here, and my colleagues in the DGH. So warm greetings. And actually, Dr. Reddy has already given you a very nice summary of what this workshop is about. And I see a number of really outstanding experts lined up for the thing. So I'm really tempted to really skip my own part, and I'm really tempted to go over and listen to them. So we have very fine experts, both who have agreed to act as moderators and as speakers in today's session. So it would be a really wonderful opportunity, and I thank them. I also welcome them and thank them for taking time off for functioning as moderators and speakers. So I will not take much of a time. I would rather quickly very broadly share some of my key thoughts, and really then move on and listen to the experts who are here from the industry. So basically, my initial thought on a day like this is really what brings us together. This is a forum where a cross-section of the industry, particularly the geoscientists and the practitioners, they are all here. So what brings us together as an industry? I think it is really a common shared belief as an industry that all of us here who are at this platform, a common shared belief in the sustainable hydrocarbon future. That is what brings us together at a forum like this. And this is very fundamental to our existence. all of us must have this very deep belief in a common, shared, sustainable hydrocarbon future in the next few decades to come. That's something to be taken as given. And it is very clear, the roadmap of the country is very clear. We have a hydrocarbon future which will be increasingly made more and more sustainable, more and more compatible with the ecological imperatives that are arising. We as an industry are good in adaptation. We would adapt gradually to these imperatives which are coming on the way. But what is for sure is that we have to consolidate our future in the next few decades, for which the opportunity to act is now. So this is only one of the several themes. PRMS is not the only theme or the most important theme, but it is certainly a very significant theme and one of the several themes on which we as an industry need to get together, act together, so that we uplift the standards of our own industry. It's very important, studies, some very key studies in various other sectors, infrastructure, civil aviation, financial, banking and finance, all of them show that whichever industry has generally tended to act as a collectivity, they have prospered, progressed and sustained better in comparison to those industries where, there's which basically tries to survive only on a company mindset, only where your thinking is at the company level, but not beyond, not as a collectivity. So we at DGH, as a facilitator, as your partners in progress, as institutions, Government of India and DGH, as having a very deep belief in the capacity of our domestic industry, we take these opportunities to rally together the industry as a whole, the big practitioners, the big players to small players, the experts to scientists to practitioners, experts to laymen, everyone we try to get together, all of them who are stakeholders, we try to get together. So this is one such example, just at a broad level. So just to add a bit to what Dr. Reddy said, the purpose of this workshop is basically, to standardize, to universalize. And the reason for that is that if you, I've been often wondering when I look at IT industry, at infrastructure industry, at the financial, some of the financial sectors, I find that all of them, the big players to the medium to the small players, the startups to the multinationals, all of them, they speak the common language. There is a common way to go about business, about projects. Things are pretty much standardized. It is so in our industry also. I don't mean to say that things are highly standardized, highly codified. But if you look at in our own domestic sector, if you see the actual implementation, if you see the actual practice level, I do find a lot of heterogeneity, which I think it is high time. It is high time thinkers, well-wishers and stakeholders of the industry would agree that this is high time, that this heterogeneity, this is lack of uniformity or standardization must be done away with. We have highly evolved systems in our industry. It is one of the most sophisticated and highly evolved sectors. And yet, if you look at the practice level, you find a disconnect. So here is our purpose as a key stakeholder in our common shared progress. We feel that it is our duty to really come together and standardize things. So if you look at the situation today, we have preeminent companies in India who are good practitioners of PRMS. And before I talk of PRMS, let me first of all, many of you here are geoscientists, members of the Society of Petroleum Engineers. So let me first of all acknowledge with deep gratitude the contribution of the Society of Petroleum Engineers and their various associate bodies around the globe in US and other places, and including the India chapter. Let me first of all acknowledge their very important contribution. One of the several important contributions is this creation of PRMS in about 14 years back. So this is a very important contribution, and I before I continue further, let me first acknowledge their important role in this whole business. So with that, if you look at the Indian scene, what I see is pretty, heterogeneous kind of situation. We have preeminent players who are practitioners, who are good practitioners of PRMS. We have equally preeminent companies who are part practitioners, who practice it to some degree, but maybe not the whole hog. They don't go the whole hog. And we have players, not necessarily the larger ones, who haven't yet put into practice. So the idea of this workshop is really to create a uniform standard, a uniform practice. The standards exist. We have to simply adopt and implement them across the board. And I can assure you that as DGH will put in resources and see that wherever capacity is to be created, DGH will see that we do handhold them. We'll take the help of Society of Petroleum Engineers and get some of their people and our own people here and handhold those people who are yet to migrate into a full-blown practice of adoption of PRMS for evaluation of the resources, for announcement of discoveries, evaluation of resources, and for formulation of projects, commercial projects, whether they come to DGH as in the form of FDPs or to their own account, the uncertainty inherent on the one hand, and the imperative of a commercial, the bottom line of a commerciality for projects on the other hand. So you are able to combine both, look at them and see what are the chances of commerciality. At the same time, what is the uncertainty associated? What is the level? What is the uncertainty, inherent technical uncertainty associated with that? So it's very important that all our players, all our stakeholders in the industry, irrespective of they are small, medium, or big, they must all uniformly practice this. And there, I urge really our players who have already established, practice. They are already practicing this to actually perform this role of a peer, and they should really have this peer impact on the rest of the industry and see that the industry as a whole follows the standardized system. You'd be happy to know that at least as a facilitator and under the powers which are given under the ORD Act, we have now already made it mandatory to make all announcement of discoveries in the PRMS system. And at the same time, we have also reached out to all of you and requested that commencing from 1st of April, please report all your resources and reserves in the PRMS system. Even if you are doing it internally at a corporate level, please report that figures to DGH also. So it will have, I can tell you that it will have, it is bound to help not only you, but us also in trying to help you. I'll tell you how. So first of all, from your own perspective, those who practice already know it, but those who are either partly practicing it or not practicing it at all, let me really assure you that once you move into this system, you will find that your project handling capabilities are much more, based on much more sound foundations, and you are able to, projectize things for yourselves much in a better way. But let me tell you also how it will help us to help you. See, there are a lot of today, many of you have talked about, contingent resources. There are levels, there are discoveries which are still today, identified accumulations which are today, sub-commercial. Now, we'd like to sit with you. Once you report to us these contingent resources, reserves, we believe that you take the best of measures to exploit them to the best of your capability and consistent with your commercial objectives. But there are a whole lot of these contingent resources. Once you report this to us, we would like to sit with you and try to see why today they are sub-commercial, how you would like to, how we can help you, and what plans do you have for the conversion of these resources from resource to reserves? What is coming in the way? It could be a fiscal fact, it could be the fiscal environment, it could be the policy environment, it could be the regulatory environment. Maybe certain specific decisions are required to help you, make this a commercial proposition at a given point in time as a project. So unless we have this, first of all, but to move to that level where we can engage with you, maybe we can then, devise certain specific formulations, which may be in the nature of decisions to facilitate, or they may be, if they are generic enough, they may be in the nature of policy decisions, which will help a section of the industry to actually become commercial from sub-commercial. It could be for fiscal, it could be a combination of fiscal and other non-fiscal policy measures, a revamp of the incentive structure, for instance. All that could be there. But that kind of engagement would start only if we have this basic reporting system in place, where you are able to, where it's a common language. It's a common language. The way IT sector works, the way much of the financial sector works, whether it's as a global giant or whether it's a startup, the way they go about doing business is basically the way they talk about the project fundamentals is the same. It's not that way. It's not practiced that way in our domestic industry. So please make the best use of this workshop. And whether it is the reporting of discoveries or evaluating your own resources or preparing projects based on the chances of commerciality. And whether it is really your constraints in not being able to go from sub-commercial to commercial, there you can certainly engage with us, and we would actually look forward to, we'll reach out to you also and see what could be done to really migrate more and more of contingent resources to reserves. All that should happen in a systematized way, and we request you to really report everything to us in response to the letter we have sent you from 1st of April. But before that, let's take the best advantage of this workshop, and those who are part practitioners, they should get into a full-blown mode of conforming to PRMS 2018. Those who are not yet started practicing, please do so immediately. And you'll find that it is a win-win situation. Not only helps your company, but it helps us also to really engage with you better and really plan, help together plan for you in terms of more proactive and more progressive and better resource conversion plans, where it's a proactive process rather than sitting and looking at a static figure. So that's I see the big advantage there. And if you really look across the sectors, I think together we can make a big difference. So that's the important point. So as I said, we have a lot of outstanding experts lined up today. So I really now would like to I would also like to listen to them and learn from them. I encourage you to benefit the maximum from them. And most important, really get into the implementation mode. And as I have already promised, I do so once again, that we'll handhold, we'll invest resources. We see that you are facilitated in doing it in a very short time and a very effective manner. So with that, I really wish the workshop all the best, and I together join my colleagues in wishing all of us a very sustainable and a very assured future in the years and decades to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Now, this brings us to the end of the inaugural session. May I now request everyone to proceed towards the first session of the day, which is for the prospective resources.
Thank you, Chandrima.